Arianne. Arianne Martell is a princess of Dorne, the eldest child of Prince DORAN and the apparent heir according to Dornish law. Her role in the narrative of A Song of Ice and Fire is very important, especially during A Feast for Crows, where she starts playing the Game of Thrones, quickly establishing herself as an ambitious and astute character. However, even though Arianne's story will be very important for the plotline of The Winds of Winter, Dan and Dave still decided to exclude her from the narrative of Game of Thrones. On the show, she was completely erased, which is why that storyline was so terrible.
You want a good girl, but you need a bad pussy.
But in the novels, her role cannot be understated, especially because of her political importance and her part in the Dornish conspiracy. Since Arianne is the heiress of Sunspear, her actions are inherently political and her ambitions seem to be towards securing that position. Dorne's equal inheritance customs mean Arianne is entitled to succeed her father, but by the time of A Feast for Crows, Arianne feels thwarted and anxious about her future. Not only does she perceive her father as being weak and ineffective, but she also believes that he's been trying to give her inheritance away to her brother, Quentyn Martell. This fear of being disinherited, despite Dornish law supporting her claim, is what ignites Arianne's resolve to assert herself politically, gathering allies secretly and safeguarding her inheritance. Since she believes that her father is too weak to act, she hopes to do what he cannot do in order to rally the region to her side, avenging the death of Elia and Oberyn in order to prove herself as a worthy princess in the future. And she does this by crowning Myrcella. By this point in the story, Myrcella is already in Dorne, sent there by her uncle Tyrion in order to secure a marriage alliance between her and the young Dornish prince, Trystane Martell. But after the death of her brother, King Joffrey, Arianne has a different idea. She hopes to crown Myrcella using Dornish laws to support her claim against Tommen. Myrcella is the eldest sister of Tommen, so she'd have a better claim to the throne according to Dornish customs. That's why Arianne hopes to use these laws to push Myrcella's claim and present a direct challenge to Tommen's reign as king. That would be the perfect justification for the Dornish to rally their forces against the Lannisters and for them to finally get justice for Elia, her children, and even Oberyn Martell. To get this done, Arianne uses political and personal tools at her disposal, even seducing Sir ARYS OAKHEART of the Kingsguard to win his support for Myrcella's cause. She's basically the Sir Criston Cole of the main series, setting brother and sister against one another and using seduction and political cunning to do so. But unlike Sir Criston Cole, Arianne's plot doesn't come to fruition. Prince DORAN discovers the scheme before Arianne can even begin to execute her plan, and he sends AREO HOTAH to intercept Arianne's party on their way to leaving Sunspear. This leads to one of the coolest action scenes in A Feast for Crows, where we briefly see AREO HOTAH using his axe and killing Sir ARYS. But it's also a scene that leads to Myrcella losing her ear and causing a political problem for the future of Arianne's conspiracy. It's because of this that Arianne's plot ends, before it even really began, and she ends up being imprisoned by her own father. But this failure becomes a turning point in Arianne's story, because rather than disinherit her, Prince DORAN unveils to her his long-game strategy for getting revenge on the Lannisters. He tells her that he was never idle or cowardly, but rather was quietly plotting his revenge against the Lannisters through a secret Targaryen alliance that would have been secured through her hand. The pact was sealed in secret. I meant to tell you when you were old enough, when you came of age. I thought, I'm 23. For 7 years a woman grown. I know, if I kept you ignorant too long, it was only to protect you. Arianne, your nature. To you, a secret is only a choice tale to whisper to Garen and Tyann in your bed of a night. I could not take the risk. She was lost, confounded, promised. I was promised. Who is it? Who have I been betrothed to all these years? It makes no matter. He is dead. A pot of molten gold. We princes make our careful plans, and the gods smash them all awry. This revelation is huge because it changes Arianne's trajectory as she learns that her father never meant to supplant her. She learns that he has only been keeping her uninformed for her own safety. He had hoped to tell her about her betrothal when she had grown more mature and then marry her off to Viserys Targaryen. This would have secured a powerful alliance between Dorne and the Targaryens, one equivalent to the one between Rhaegar and Arianne Martell. It would have given Viserys' cause an army to take the Seven Kingdoms with, and a Dornish princess besides him when he did. But now that Viserys is dead, Prince Doran has had to change the plan. He hopes to betroth Arianne to Aegon VI, the supposed son of Rhaegar and Elia. Although everyone thought he was dead, he turns out to be still alive, and so Prince Doran sends Arianne to gather more information about him and to secure an alliance with him if he is who he says he is. This makes Arianne a far more important character in the future books, because it makes her one of the most important players in the Game of Thrones. As the heir of Dorne and a trusted agent of her father's will, Arianne effectively holds the authority to decide Dorne's allegiance in the upcoming conflicts. In the Winds of Winter, Aegon hopes to use his army of sellswords to take Storm's End and eventually King's Landing. And we can now see that Arianne will be in the middle of this entire struggle. Her judgment, whether to join Aegon's cause and on what terms, could dramatically influence the future in Westeros, and that alone makes Arianne's story that much more exciting in the books. In the books, Arianne is cunning, seductive, and very ambitious. Her position as the heiress of Dorne make her one of the most important characters in the story, especially for the Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring. Arianne's decisions in the future books will determine the direction of the story, because whoever she chooses to support will have the power of Dorne behind them. In the Winds of Winter, it'll be interesting to see if she chooses to take a marriage alliance with Aegon VI, or if she chooses to side with Daenerys, who has the power of dragons on her side. Arianne has always had a weakness for handsome boys, so she might choose the former. But she's also learning to be more dutiful as a princess, so that might lead her to choosing the latter. I guess the question of her story will be, will she choose her lust for Aegon or her duty by standing beside Daenerys? What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments section, and if you like this video, click the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. Peace.
Now I be riding on E. I call up the plug with my gas on E. Your girl hit me up talking about she need me. Let's do an exchange, shook me till I feel weak, ay, I feel weak. Now call all of your friends, we gon' hit up Long Street. You know that I'm skinny, but I carry strong heat. You don't gotta split the bill, yeah, it's on me. It's on me, shawty.